everybody, we are going to have some cornbread casserole for dinner tonight. I have already done a little snippet before. I'm going to insert it now because I needed some shredded cheese. So here we are going to go shred some cheese. So I'll be right back. Before I get started on my casserole, I have to shred up some cheese because I am pretty much out. Now I have always used my food processor to do this, and so I got tired of having all the cleanup. So I saw this neat attachment set for my Kitchenaid appliance, and it has a slicer, a shredder, a grinder. It has all kinds of stuff on it, and so when I get done, I don't have to clean up the bowl and all of that stuff. All I have to clean up is this blade and then the housing thing here. That's it. So I use sharp cheddar cheese. I get me a big 2-pound block of it, and I cut it into pieces that are about 1 inch to 1.25 inches wide. And then if you don't have these yet, I think I've told you about them. They are so awesome. They are like your extra set of hands in the kitchen. So here's what I do. See, I'm not even going to mess up a bowl or anything. I'm just going to use, I have some quart sandwich bags, or quart bags, I guess I should say. I just stick it on here. It holds it for me. Make sure it's opened up in there. I have one side a little bit shorter than the other because it has to fit underneath this blade right here. And then the other side is going to be up a little bit so that it stays open to catch that cheese when it goes in. But watch this, y'all. Each one of these quart bags will hold 2 to 2.5 of these cheese blocks. Unplug it, scoop out that extra cheese that's in there. Be careful because that blade could be very, very sharp. And then I just slide it out of there. Take it off of this. Kind of shake it down a little bit. And there we go. Shredded cheddar cheese without the extra stuff. Squeeze out a little bit of the air, and I'm going to put it in my freezer. Okay, now you got that. First thing I need to do is get a can, which this is a 15.5 ounce can of pinto beans, and I need to drain them and I need to rinse them. So I'm going to empty it into a strainer just over a bowl. And now I'm just going to go to the sink and kind of rinse these off and let them drain. Okay, have those all rinsed off, and I'm going to let them just sit over this bowl so they can drain while I do everything else. I have a pound of ground venison. You can do venison, you can do beef, turkey, chicken, just whatever kind of meat that you want, pork even. Between a pound and a pound and a half. I'm going to go ahead and get this browning, and I've got my oven set at 375 Fahrenheit. I am going to chop up some onion. Alright, I'm just going to stick these into this meat while it's going. While that meat's getting browned up, we are going to make up some Jiffy cornbread real quick to put on top of there. You're going to need 2 boxes of Jiffy. And these are 8.5 ounce boxes. You're also going to need 2/3 cup of milk and 2 eggs. Get some of those lumps out of there. I have 2/3 cup of milk, and I have 2 eggs. Let's get that mixed up real good. Now this is optional, but we like a little bit of sweet in our cornbread. So I'm just going to dump a little bit of some sugar in there. Not a whole lot, just enough to give it a little bit of a sweet taste. Alright, that is ready. I'm just going to let it sit aside. We are also going to need a can of whole kernel corn, and this is a 15 ounce can. You also need a 10 ounce can of diced tomatoes and green chilies. You do need to drain this corn, so I'm going to drain it over my sink. You are also going to need a 13 by 9 inch casserole dish, and if it is metal or glass, you do need to spray it. Alright, if you are using something that has a lot of fat in it, your meat, and it needs to be drained, then go ahead and do that as soon as you get it browned up. Mine is venison and it is very lean, so there's hardly anything in there. Sometimes I even have to add oil while I'm cooking. I am going to throw in, after you drain it, you've got it drained, then you want to add some taco seasoning. I make my own. You can go and find that video on there. But we need 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Now that we've got that in there, it's time to add our rotel, or our diced tomatoes and green chilies, I should say. Our drained corn. And our drained and rinsed pinto beans. And I'm going to get a spoon. Stir this up. There's not really anything else that needs to cook in this. So as soon as you get that mixed up really good, then you're going to go ahead and put it in your casserole dish. Like I said, if you're using metal or glass, you need to spray this or it will stick. I am using stoneware. It just evened out pretty good. Then you're going to cover it with some shredded cheese. That should be good. Now we are going to take this cornbread mixture and pour it over the top. If I can do this where y'all can see what I'm doing. Now very carefully, you try to do it without moving all the cheese all around, which is very difficult to do. Just try to smooth it out as best as possible. But that's it. I'm going to stick this in a 375 oven for 40 minutes, and then I'll be back with y'all. Now after 40 minutes, go ahead and test your casserole and make sure that the inside is done by using a toothpick. It should come out clean. See how golden that is? Now I'm going to let this sit out for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to cover it with some foil. I'm not going to cinch it down or anything, just lay it over the top. Like that. And then we'll be back to taste it. I'm just going to loosen this up a little bit around the edges. It's still smoking. That is so yummy. We're gonna go eat us some. Y'all go make you some cornbread casserole. See y'all later. Bye.